Here, on the edge of the continent, a different kind of forest has risen. Towers of glass and steel reach for the sky, their peaks often lost in the low-lying clouds. This is the American metropolis, a sprawling ecosystem engineered by human hands. At dawn, sunlight catches the highest points, spilling down into the deep valleys between buildings. These are the concrete canyons, where millions of lives unfold. The city awakens with a low hum, a symphony of distant traffic and the first stirrings of a new day. It is a place of immense energy and constant motion, a testament to human ambition and ingenuity. Life here follows ancient rhythms, disguised in modern forms. The morning commute is a great migration. Rivers of vehicles flow along designated channels, their red and white lights painting streaks in the dim morning light. Below ground, trains shuttle through dark tunnels, carrying their passengers to the heart of this urban jungle. Pigeons, the steadfast inhabitants of these cliffs, take flight from window ledges, circling in the updrafts created by the city's unique topography. They have adapted, just as all life must, to the particular demands of this environment. Every street corner, every park, is a microhabitat teeming with activity. The sheer scale is difficult to comprehend. From New York's dense island thicket to the sprawling plains of Los Angeles, these urban landscapes cover vast territories. They are monuments to a century of growth, each one a unique expression of its region. The air carries the scent of exhaust, of street food, of the nearby ocean or river that first gave the city life. It is a complex and powerful environment. It promises opportunity. It draws people from all over the world, each seeking a place within its intricate web of existence. But even in these magnificent structures, there are signs of wear. The relentless pressures of time and existence leave their mark. The wind and rain weather the stone facades. The constant vibration of life below ground subtly shifts the foundations. This ecosystem, for all its strength, is in a delicate balance. It is a place of great wealth and crushing competition, and like any environment, it can be unforgiving. For those who cannot keep pace, the sheer walls of these canyons can become a formidable barrier, isolating and exposing them to the elements. Look closer. Here, at the fringes of the morning rush, another kind of movement is underway. It is quieter, slower. It happens in the margins, in the spaces others hurry past. A figure emerges from the recessed doorway of a silent storefront. They move with a quiet deliberation, gathering their few possessions. This is a migration that is not measured by highways or train schedules. It is a daily search for safety, for a moment of peace. It is a journey that often ends where it began, in the shadow of the city's great monuments. This is not a seasonal shift. It is a constant, year-round phenomenon. Throughout America's great urban centers, a population is growing, but it has no fixed address. The numbers are staggering. Nearly 800,000 souls are now counted in this wandering tribe. This is the highest total ever recorded. It is a silent crisis unfolding in plain sight. From the sun-drenched coasts of California to the windswept avenues of Chicago, the pattern repeats. People are losing their foothold in the modern world. They are becoming unmoored, adrift in the very places built to be centers of human connection. We see them, but we may not truly observe them. An elderly woman, her face a map of hardship, carefully arranges her belongings on a public bench. A young family, huddled in a car, tries to create a small pocket of normalcy for their children. Individuals, once part of the city's great rhythm, now move to a different beat. A beat dictated by the search for a meal, the need for a safe place to rest, or the quiet desperation of an untreated illness. They are the unseen inhabitants of the urban wilderness. The scale of this displacement is difficult to grasp. In California alone, over 187,000 people are without a permanent home. Many of them are unsheltered, living fully exposed to the elements. They make their homes under the vast concrete canopies of freeway overpasses, along the dry banks of riverbeds, or in the dense foliage of city parks. This is not the life they chose. It is the life that is left when all other options have been exhausted. A silent nation is forming within the nation, its citizens bound by a shared state of profound vulnerability. What forces are driving this great displacement? The causes are as complex as the ecosystem itself. At its root is a fundamental imbalance. The cost of shelter has become detached from the reality of wages. For decades, the price of a simple place to live has climbed relentlessly upward. Median rents have risen nearly 5 times faster than incomes. For every 100 families with extremely low incomes, there are only 35 affordable homes available. The math simply does not work. The foundation of stability, a home, is crumbling away for more and more people. This economic pressure is a powerful, invisible current. It slowly erodes the security of individuals and families. A single, unexpected event, a medical bill, a car repair, a reduction in work hours, can be enough to push someone over the edge. The safety nets that once existed have frayed. Federal relief funds, a temporary lifeline during the pandemic, have expired. This has left millions vulnerable to the unforgiving logic of the market. The city, once a symbol of opportunity, becomes a landscape of impossible choices: pay the rent or buy food. Another shadow has fallen across this landscape. It is the shadow of addiction. A powerful synthetic opioid, fentanyl, has flooded the streets. It offers a fleeting escape from pain, from trauma, from the harsh reality of life without shelter. But its grip is relentless and often fatal. In Los Angeles County, drug overdoses are now the cause of nearly half of all deaths among the homeless population. The mortality rate from overdose is a staggering 49 times higher than in the general population. It is a public health crisis layered on top of a housing crisis. These forces do not act in isolation. They intertwine, creating a tangled web from which it is incredibly difficult to escape. Systemic discrimination means that people of color are disproportionately caught in this web. The fastest growing group to fall into homelessness is older adults, their numbers expected to triple by 2030. They are facing the twilight of their lives not with security, but with the profound uncertainty of where they will sleep tonight. The long shadow of homelessness is stretching, and it is touching every demographic, every age group, every corner of the urban expanse. Life on the fragile edge is a constant negotiation with the environment. Survival depends on adapting to a world not designed for you. An encampment takes root on a sliver of public land, a small island of community in a sea of concrete. Tents and makeshift structures provide a thin layer of protection against the wind and rain. Here, a fragile social order emerges. Neighbors look out for one another. They share resources, information, and the simple comfort of human connection. These are not just collections of tents, they are communities of survival. But this existence is precarious. The inhabitants live under constant threat of displacement. Following a recent Supreme Court decision, over 100 cities have passed laws that ban public camping. The very act of sleeping in a public space has become a crime. This leads to a relentless cycle of upheaval. City crews arrive, often with little warning. Possessions are gathered and discarded. Tents are taken down. People are told to move on, but there is often nowhere to go. The fragile community is shattered, only to reform, perhaps a few blocks away, until the cycle begins again. The psychological toll is immense. There is no rest. There is no true safety. The constant stress of living in a state of high alert wears down the spirit. Sleep is shallow and often interrupted. The lack of basic amenities, a bathroom, a place to wash, a secure spot to store belongings, adds a layer of daily indignity. This is not merely a lack of housing. It is a comprehensive assault on human dignity. Every day is a battle to maintain a sense of self in a world that seems determined to erase you. The physical dangers are just as real. Exposure to the elements, from scorching summer heat to freezing winter nights, takes a heavy toll. The lack of sanitation can lead to the spread of disease, and the streets themselves are a place of unpredictable risk. Those living unsheltered are far more likely to be victims of violence. Life on the edge is a life of constant vulnerability, a daily struggle to hold on against forces that threaten to sweep you away entirely. If we listen carefully past the noise of the city, we can hear the voices from this urban wilderness. They tell stories of resilience, of frustration, and of a system that has failed them. They're just doing as little as possible, says a man in Grants Pass, Oregon, gesturing toward a city-sanctioned camping spot. He doesn't just want a designated patch of dirt. He speaks of the need for real housing, for access to medical care, for a path back to a life of stability. His voice is not one of defeat, but of clear-eyed assessment. He understands the problem better than most. Another voice, this one from a woman who's been on the streets of San Francisco for 2 years, speaks of lost hope. I had a job, I had an apartment, she says, her words quiet but firm. I got sick, I lost my job, I couldn't pay the rent. It happened that fast. Her story is a common one. It is a reminder that the line between being housed and unhoused is thinner than many believe. She speaks of the daily struggle to feel human, to hold on to the memory of the person she was before the crisis hit. We hear of families trying to maintain a sense of normalcy for their children. A father explains how he helps his daughter with her homework in the back of their van, parked under a streetlight. He talks about the shame, but also his determination to give her a chance at a better future. She's smart, he says with a flicker of pride. She deserves more than this. These are not abstract statistics. They are parents, children, brothers, and sisters, all caught in a situation beyond their control. And we hear voices of profound disappointment with the systems designed to help. A young man in Los Angeles explains why he declined a spot in a shelter. He speaks of rigid rules, of curfews that would make it impossible to hold a job, of the danger of theft, and of the lack of privacy. It feels more like a prison than a safe place, he concludes. His choice is not one of irrationality. It is a calculated decision, weighing the pros and cons of an imperfect solution. These voices from the wilderness are a crucial part of the story. They are the experts in their own survival. In response to the growing crisis, cities have marshaled their resources. The primary response has been the shelter system. These are facilities intended to provide a temporary refuge, a safe place to sleep off the streets. Billions of dollars have been spent. Yet the crisis deepens. It is a paradox. Despite massive spending, the number of people living outside continues to grow. In California, an estimated $24 billion was spent on homelessness programs over 5 years. Yet state audits found it difficult to track where the money went or what it achieved. The shelters themselves are part of the problem. There are simply not enough beds. For every person who finds a spot, many more are turned away. California faces a deficit of over 111,000 shelter beds. This scarcity creates a bottleneck, leaving the vast majority of the unsheltered population with no indoor option. The promise of a safe haven remains out of reach for most. The system is overwhelmed, unable to meet the sheer scale of the need. It is like trying to empty the ocean with a bucket. Even when beds are available, they often go unused. In Los Angeles, a study found that 1 in 4 shelter beds sat empty over a 4-year period. This represents a staggering waste of resources. costing the city over $218 million. The reasons are the very ones we hear in the voices from the streets. Restrictive rules, curfews that conflict with work schedules, bans on partners or pets, and fears for personal safety lead many to choose the perceived autonomy of the streets over the rigid structure of a shelter. The ultimate goal of a shelter is to be a temporary stop on the way to permanent housing. But here, the system faces its greatest failure. Building permanent supportive housing is incredibly slow and expensive. In Los Angeles, a single unit can cost over $600,000 to build. The result is that very few people successfully make the transition. From 2019 to 2023, only 13% of those who exited the shelter system moved into a permanent home. The shelters, intended to be a bridge, have for many become a revolving door that leads right back to the street. The growing visibility of this crisis has created a deep rift within the wider community. The forest of tents, the human suffering on public display, it has an undeniable impact on the urban ecosystem. In cities across the country, residents report a declining quality of life. In San Francisco, a striking 88% of residents believe the problem of homelessness has worsened. The compassion many feel is now mixed with frustration, fear, and a sense of helplessness. The crisis is no longer at the margins. It is at everyone's doorstep. This tension is palpable. In places like Grants Pass, where the city has been forced to create designated camping spaces near residential neighborhoods, fear has taken root. Homeowners speak of increased crime and a loss of their sense of security. They see the encampments not as communities of survival, but as sources of disorder and danger. The debate becomes one of public space. Who has the right to use it, and how? The city becomes a battleground of competing needs. The need for shelter versus the need for public order. Leaders find themselves caught in the middle, facing immense pressure from all sides. They are torn between enforcing laws and showing compassion. They are criticized for spending vast sums of money with little to show for it, and simultaneously accused of not doing enough. The legal landscape is a minefield. While some cities move to clear camps, others are blocked by court orders, forced into a stalemate. This division and frustration can lead to punitive measures, a hardening of attitudes that views the unhoused not as neighbors in crisis, but as a problem to be removed. The human connection that holds a community together begins to fray. Empathy gives way to anger. The people experiencing homelessness feel ostracized and dehumanized, while housed residents feel that their concerns are being ignored. The crisis creates two separate worlds, coexisting in the same physical space but divided by a vast chasm of experience and understanding. The city, once a place of shared identity, becomes a collection of fractured and competing interests. This division is one of the most tragic consequences of the failure to address the root of the problem. Yet, even in this challenging landscape, there are signs of hope. There are proven strategies that work. They are not fast or easy, but they show a path forward. We can look to the successful effort to house military veterans. Through a targeted and sustained national initiative, veteran homelessness was reduced by an incredible 55% between 2009 and 2022. This was achieved by focusing on one simple, powerful idea: provide housing first, and then wrap the services, healthcare, counseling, job training, around the individual. It proves that when there is political will and focused investment, progress is possible. The model at the heart of this success is called permanent supportive housing. It recognizes that for many, especially those who have been homeless for a long time and struggle with disabilities or addiction, a home is the foundation for recovery. It is not a reward for getting better. It is the tool that makes getting better possible. When people are given the stability and dignity of their own space, the results are remarkable. Over 90% of residents in these programs remain stably housed. It is a strategy of profound effectiveness. Some communities are experimenting with new approaches. In California, a new law offers those with repeat drug offenses a choice jail or court-mandated treatment. It is a recognition that addiction is a disease and that the cycle of arrest and release does nothing to solve the underlying problem. It is a shift from a purely punitive approach to one that incorporates medical care and compassion. These are small steps, but they represent a slow thaw in the frozen landscape of policy, an acknowledgement that the old ways are not working. These solutions require a fundamental change in perspective. They ask us to see homelessness not as a moral failing, but as a systemic failure, a failure of the housing market, the healthcare system, and the economy. They require us to invest in people. They are not cheap, but they are far less expensive than the endless and ineffective cycle of emergency room visits, police interventions, and shelter stays. The evidence is clear. The path exists. The question is whether we, as a society, have the collective will to walk it. The city is quiet again. The sun has set, and the concrete canyons are now illuminated by 1,000,000 points of artificial light. This ecosystem never truly sleeps. It simply changes. For most of its inhabitants, the day ends with the closing of a door, a retreat into the safety and warmth of a home. But for hundreds of thousands, the night brings not rest but heightened vulnerability. They seek out the most sheltered corners of this vast environment, hoping to make it through to the morning. Their presence is a profound and silent question posed to the heart of our civilization. What is the measure of a society? Is it the height of its buildings, the strength of its economy? Or is it how it treats its most vulnerable members? The quiet dignity of those struggling to survive on our streets is a powerful testament to the resilience of the human spirit. But their struggle is also a reflection of our own collective choices. They are not a separate species, they are us, in different circumstances. Change is possible. It begins with seeing the crisis for what it is, a man-made disaster that can be unmade. It requires us to build more affordable housing, to ensure that wages can support a basic standard of living, and to treat addiction and mental illness with the same urgency as any other public health emergency. It requires us to listen to the voices from the wilderness, to trust their expertise, and to design solutions with them, not for them. It demands that we choose compassion over frustration and collaboration over division. A new dawn will come. The sun will once again spill into the concrete canyons. The great urban migration will begin anew. The question is, what kind of city will it illuminate? Will it be a place of ever-sharpening divides where some live in the sky while others are forgotten on the ground? Or will it be a true ecosystem, a place where everyone has a niche, a place of shelter, a place to call home? The answer lies not in the stars, but within the intricate, powerful, and deeply human heart of the city itself.